Represent yourself.
All right, ready?
Yeah, we're ready now.
All right, rolling.
You ready?
Yeah, ready.
Okay.
Welcome to MarkedView. I'm your host, Emmy, and here we are uniting perspectives, embracing marks, and seeking answers with childlike faith, where your distinct marked view is not only welcome, but celebrated, contributing to the vibrant conversation and understanding that defines our community.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Marked View. I am joined with the one, the only, Wilbert, who is also my cousin. Yes. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, this weekend has been tough, running around trying to figure out who to book, who not to book, people dropping and everything like that.
We finally got someone.
We finally got someone, and thank God for the crew over here and everything like that. And thank you for staying open, in this the method to my madness. So today, we're going to talk about courage and the pitfalls of being a dreamer, because I feel like as dreamers and versus doers, dreamers tend to stay in la la land while doers get out to the world and get the things done. And I feel like I can learn that from you.
Mm-hmm.
So are you ready?
Ready.
Great. So, well, like I said, we're cousins, so we had an interesting childhood, don't you think?
I think so, too.
Yeah. What was that?
Oh, yeah, we've definitely gone through a lot.
We got through a lot. We got a lot of scars to show it, like outside playing, doing all these things. And one thing I noticed about you growing up is that you introduced me to things that I would never have been exposed to if I hadn't hung out with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like most things that people will say, oh, that's some white people stuff or whatever. You introduced me to martial arts, anime, even though I don't really like that. But it adds a little spice to my character. Skateboarding and video games, and even like the games like Imagination and stuff like that. So I really thank God for that, because if it wasn't for you, I would never know those things.
Mm-hmm.
What made you get into the stuff like that when you were younger?
I think as a kid, I always had access to like my primary form of like entertainment, which was like video games. And like I feel like video games are like an entry port into like the imagination,
Mm-hmm.
because it just opens up a world of like possibilities of what you can do, what you can explore.
Mm-hmm.
And from that, I always felt like as a kid, I always had like a diverse like friend group.
Mm-hmm.
Like I hung out with the Asians, I hung out with like the white kids.
Yeah.
I also had like a couple black like friends, and then like I had my family.
Right.
So each like aspect of that was just a different group of people that like influenced like, or something different that I could take and then like use in my daily life.
Oh, that's really cool. That is true. You did have some different friends back then. Okay, you was definitely doing stuff outside of the box. And we like that, and that's courageous. And I remember we were talking about the other day, like the book I was talking about, The Courage to Be Disliked, which is actually what one component of freedom is. How much are you ready to be disliked to do the things that you actually want to do? And for you to break out of a normal like mold, which is like what society puts on people, like you're a black kid, you're not supposed to do this, or even you're African, you're not supposed to say this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what made you not follow those rules and break them?
I think it wasn't so much that like I wanted to break the rules. It was more so like there were just things I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then like no matter like what people started to say or like do,
Mm-hmm.
it was like my love for doing those things like triumphed over these like other words or like other things that people put in front of me.
That's true. That's because he was taking Chinese in high school. And, people usually take Spanish or French, but he was like, nah, I want to take Chinese.
Yeah, because like for that especially, my dad, he really liked like martial arts movies, and he like showed us a bunch of martial arts movies.
Right.
And so like I felt learning the language made me a little bit closer to that like culture and things that like I liked.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's really cool. That's really cool. So take me into your world now. What is your thought process when you are trying something new? Yeah, nowadays.
I think nowadays it's more so like goal driven.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like there's certain things that I want to accomplish,
Mm-hmm.
and the only way to do those things or to accomplish those things, if I'm able to like set forth like a plan
Mm-hmm.
and like stick like with it.
Right.
So for me, I have this like initial like discovery phase where like I'm trying to learn like a lot about it,
Mm-hmm.
but I try to like time box these things so that like I'm not stuck in just like an initial discovery phase, and I'm not like trying to, I guess, discover everything there is to know about it.
Mm.
Sometimes what I find works out best for me is that when I really want to learn something, I'll take a few moments, like figure out what I need, but then I always tie it with some sort of like goal or like short-term like vision. So like there's always some sort of like project that like I can make out of it.
Right.
And if you can make a project out of something that you're trying to learn, then it makes like pursuing these goals a lot easier.
It's true. Goal-oriented projects. I love me a good project. The problem is finishing the project. Because,
Yeah.
So how do you end up finishing the product? Yeah.
So I guess the easiest way to like finish a project is I like this book called Atomic Habits, which yeah, you can set forth like goals and things like that. You can set like forth like check marks and like ways to like incentivize you. But also something that I really find important that you have to consider is making time, or like decreasing the time that you're spending on other things so that you actually have the time to focus on your project.
That's really good.
Because yeah, you can set goals and things like that, but if you never actually have the time to do it, and you're never actually like forced to actually engage with your project, then you'll probably never actually.
That is true. Like the whole concept of whatever happens will happen is not really, it's not real. And that's how projects die, because it's not whatever happens. Whatever you put your mind to do, it will happen.
Yeah, like definitely play your environment. Like if you can mold your environment into a place or a space to where like it benefits your project or encourage you to work on your project, then like I'd say that is definitely another step in the right direction.
I like that. So how do you curate your environment to help you achieve your goals?
So one, as you see, it's like pretty hard to get on my Wi-Fi sometimes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
What I do with that is within like certain time windows, like I can't access like certain websites and things like that. So that allows me to focus on like other things that I can access within those times. So for me, like I like to start off in the morning with like learning Japanese. So like it gives me like time to like focus on that, because I can't be distracted by like social media.
Right.
And like I can't access YouTube and things like that. But like I know that like there are certain pockets in the day where I can't access those devices or like those tools. So if I really actually like need to, I can get on them during those times.
So it's very, you have a very like gated or disciplined life.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say more like gated, because I think that's kind of like where discipline like stems from. It's not from being in the presence of like distractions and being able to like will your mind to like stave them off. It's more so structuring your life in a way to where you don't have to deal with distractions.
So it's basically not even giving yourself a chance to delve into it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up, because sometimes, you know, I'll put a timer on my phone for my social media, but then I know I can press OK and it's like, you know, I can still get into it, you know? And I know you're not on social media like at all, like your Instagram or whatever. It's really
I
hard.
do not update that though.
Right? No social media presence, which is good because you out here, you know, doing a thing, you feel me? No, that's good though. So this goes without question, but I feel like, you know, it's one of my questions or whatever. Would you describe yourself more as a dreamer or a doer?
I think still at the end of the day, like I am a dreamer.
Right.
Because I feel like all these like goals and things that I want to accomplish originally like stem from like these dreams that like maybe like came to me like as a kid, or maybe like even now. But and as a result of that, I think that's what like lends me to start like doing things. But it ultimately stems from me being like a dreamer.
A dreamer. So you're like a little bit of both, because you get it done. Okay, yeah. And here's my dilemma. Maybe you can help me. My dilemma is this. I'm a dreamer. I'm an avid dreamer. And I have all these dreams in my mind and in my heart. And I want to do them. I lack implementation, not because I lack the skill, but it's more so I lack the courage to do the thing, and also the discipline. So what would you say to someone like me who has the content or the dream or whatever, but we're in la la land, okay?
So yeah, oftentimes like what I guess say to people sometimes is you probably do have the skill, and you probably do have like maybe even like the drive to do it, but like sometimes what falls like flat is you don't really have it's not necessarily like, yeah, we already said drive, but you don't have the thinking. There's a step after like the drive.
Mm-hmm. It's not motivation, is it?
No, yeah, it's not motivation.
Uh-huh.
But it's like sometimes people aren't able to like make the decision, like to like do the
decisiveness.
Yeah. Like that's like usually what you need. You need to be able to like make the decision to do something. And usually people get stuck because they're like, maybe I'm missing out on like a certain like aspect of this thing. Maybe I need to think about it more. But,
right.
Like, those like thoughts, they stop you from actually doing something. So people say there's like, you can plan to do something, but like actually getting like the ball rolling is like usually what separates the doers from like the dreamers.
Right.
And usually that step, easy ways to like take that approach is you can get like an accountability partner.
Right.
Someone else who like you report to, or like someone else who like helps you on the journey, because sometimes doing everything alone makes it even more difficult for you to actually like accomplish things. Because you knowing yourself, you probably like will not get to the point where like you get the ball rolling, but like having someone else that like will talk with you through the process
right.
often does help, because say you're slacking one day, then they can always give you that little extra push, like a gym partner.
Right, right. Okay, that's what's up. You're getting ahead of me. That's what's up, though. That I'm gonna definitely take that advice, because it's even doing this, finally out of La La Land and doing it. And I was actually, whenever, doing the first episode, I was like, oh, do I know that does? And I'm like, Wilbert, he does everything. You feel me? Well, not like everything, but you know what I mean. So yeah, my question is, what motivates you to be consistent when learning something? It doesn't even have to be something new. Maybe you have a project, like you said, you're building your video game. That's not a new project. That's something you've always wanted to do, been doing. What motivates you to be consistent in working on that thing?
I think what motivates me to be consistent is like, if you're able to like ground like what you want to learn, or like what your like dreams are, with some things that are like approachable within the short term, like getting these like small wins. Like for me, like when I'm making like a video game or like making pieces of it, when I can see like parts of the game come to life,
right,
I think that is something that like truly motivates me, because I'm like, oh, I can do this, then I can like definitely add upon that and build something even greater. So same thing with like learning like a language or something similar to that. When you're able to like start like speaking in it, it's like pretty fun, because you're like, oh, I can actually start to like converse with other people. Like when you see that recognition, when you start to see things that you can recognize,
that's true. It's like being a kid again. Like you're learning something for the first time, and then you're getting to use what you learned.
Yeah. And that's definitely like the spirit of it. I think trying to like reignite your like inner child is something that like you should strive to do.
That is so true. That's one of our values here at MarkedView, is us seeking answers with childlike faith. And it's really a mindset when you get older, you grow out of, because like the world and life experience. But I feel like we should stay children, not maturity wise, but curiosity and learning things. So that's really cool that you have that. So my final question, maybe not. How important, you answered this before, but how important is accountability when you're going towards achieving your goals?
I think it honestly depends on like the type of like goal. Like when it's like a project or something that's like bigger than yourself, I think it's like extremely important, because the bigger things get, I think the easier it is to get like overwhelmed. And so having someone, or like having some like sort of system to where like you can again take accountability with, makes it a lot easier to get like across these like hardships and these like hard like hurdles.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. It sounds like you like to do life with people. Would you consider yourself extroverted or introverted?
Definitely introverted.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely like to keep to myself. I feel like for me, that's definitely like a pitfall, where I can definitely spend a lot of time figuring things out when I couldn't as easily have gotten the answer from like someone else. But I think that's also the fun of it for me. It's like figuring some of these things out on my own. Like it's like a little joy.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I consider myself both because I like my own little world, but then also I'm just like, oh my God, there's a world outside of my world, you know? But no, I like that. But I notice that you do well in social settings anyway, you know? People gravitate towards you, like, whatever. I feel like you have a really good energy, you know, that people like to be around. And who doesn't like to be around a good thing?
True.
Unless they got something wrong with themselves. Hello, like, go align your chakras or whatever you gotta do. You feel me? But no, that's really cool. So here at MarkedView, we're usually given marks, and the way that we believe you make your mark is how well you communicate your perspective. And you have been awarded the period and the comma because, you know, I feel like you make your statements how it is, and then sometimes there's a comma to add on to the point that you've already made. So yeah, we appreciate you. I appreciate this whole weekend. Thank you for hosting me. Thank you for allowing me to be in your world and everything like that. Thank you for teaching me a lot. You taught me a lot. I'm gonna watch this episode. I'm gonna get the stuff done. You have no idea. My planner is just full of things I need to do, but I just need to get out of the la la land and just do it and have the courage to do it. Yeah, just do it. Nike. Do it.
All right, Wilbert, the people want to know. How did you learn how to code?
Yeah, actually, pretty funny story. Because of your dad, actually.
He gonna love this. Okay.
Yeah. So I remember when we were younger, like I think with like you and your siblings, he would like often like encourage you guys to like learn about like technology and stuff like that. And like I think one of these times I was over, he was starting to like teach us about like HTML, and I thought it was like one of the coolest things, cause like I think he got us like a domain that was like a combination of our name.
Yes.
But,
what was it? Chagzilla? No, not Chagzilla. Shagula's.
Yeah, Shagula's.
Yes.
It definitely it didn't go anywhere, but it definitely like sparked that spark, you know?
Right.
And I was like, after that, like I started getting like more curious about these things. I learned a little bit more about like HTML and things like that. And then going into high school, I took my first like computer science course.
Right.
And it was like AP Computer Science. It was like with Java. And like it was definitely just like an introductory like course.
Right.
But it definitely gave me like the foundation to like go further with my learnings.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So kind of like self-taught, stemmed from childhood. Then you went to school, and okay, that's what's up. I remember that summer. We were like in a room thinking that we were gonna build like the next virtual world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely didn't go anywhere.
But you know, the creativity was there. Like, you know, we was doing our thing, so it was fun. It was definitely a fun thing.
Yeah.
Another question is, how did you get into building like now your own video games?
I think with that, so I play a lot of video games in like my spare time, and with that, you I guess gain an interest, at least for me, to wanting to start to like develop your own worlds.
Right.
Because I think it's more akin to like how like a writer like reads a lot of books and eventually like it sparks like creativity and like that process within them.
Right.
For me, it's like something similar. There are a bunch of like game genres that I like,
Right.
and I feel like I can start to fuse some of these into like my own like unique ideas. And so with that, it stems into like pretty small projects. There might be like a cool like mechanic or cool feature in a game that like I really like.
Right.
And I try to build like a small project around that, see if I can like recreate it in like my own image. And from there, I do like a continual like process where I do like similar things with like other games.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really cool. It's such different skills. We love to see it. And you're learning Japanese.
I'm learning Japanese.
So how is it learning a new language?
大変ですね.
What?
Very difficult.
Okay. Very difficult. But, you know, does it get better throughout the days?
I think it definitely gets like, no, it doesn't.
It doesn't. It's a different language.
Yeah. Like I thought it was, but especially being like an Asian language, being like so different from like English.
Right.
It definitely doesn't come easy, and it definitely takes like a different like mindset.
Right.
Because like grammar, sentence structure, it's all different. The way like certain like pronouns interact with each other, definitely different. Like just the whole like semantics and like structure of it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I was on your PlayStation and it's all in Japanese.
Yeah, I feel like definitely something that like helps me learn is like immersive learning, because like if I'm forced to like see it every day, then like I have to like at least learn something, at least to like navigate it.
Exactly. There you go, curating your environment to learn. That's what's up. then. Yeah. So thank you for that. I'm pretty sure people would have loved to, know this guy learned coding by himself, and then the video games, and then the other stuff. It's really cool. And you're going to Japan soon.
Yeah, going in a month.
Yeah. Are you excited for
I
that?
definitely am. Like, definitely, it's my first time. I guess like out of this hemisphere.
Right. Okay. Yeah. How are you preparing to go? I know you're learning Japanese. What else are you doing?
Learning Japanese. My fiance, she like took a lot of like planning with like the itinerary. Like I chipped in a little bit, but it was like mostly her. But yeah, other preparations, making reservations and things like that.
Yeah.
But honestly, just going there to like have fun.
Exactly. Yeah, we heard that word, fiance. Wow. Your proposal video was very interesting because your sister was telling us that she told you to go make sure she has her nails done and everything like that. And we looked at the video, we're like, Wilbert, why are your nails painted too?
Oh yeah, I got my nails done for that too.
so she's not suspicious that.
Yep. I played it off perfectly. Like right before we went for our trip, I was like, hey, you want to go get like mani like pedis? And like, yeah, so we went together. I got like, I guess like turquoise nails.
Right, you did.
Yeah, there's still like traces of that on my toes. But yeah.
That's what's up. That's really cool. You're very creative. We love to see it, and we love to, hear about it and learn about it. So yeah, thank you for coming on the show, sharing your perspective. Thank you for taking us into your world, because you definitely got your own world, and
You do.
we love to have a little peek and see what's going on in Wilbert's world. This is your world. We're just living in it. Okay? So yeah, thank you again. Most definitely. Hopefully I have you again on soon.
Yeah.
You'll be learning something new.
I might even come down to Dallas.
Come live with us. Just come. Just move. You don't need this. Just come.
This is the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching our social media. You're not on social media, are you? Would you like to drop anything for people to know you?
I really have nothing.
Nothing. Okay. If you see him on the street, just be like, "Hey, Wilbert, it's me. I saw you on the video." But definitely like, subscribe, and share this on different platforms. And thank you so much for watching. See you on the next video. Yeah, that's it.